and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off the last time in Victoria 3, playing as the Great Qing, where we're going to try to get recognition during this part. This is actually the second time I've recorded this part, so the original version we got was a blooper. Got interrupted a couple times in the recording, and that delayed getting this done. And all the distractions due to those interruptions caused me to make some mistakes while recording. So the first thing we're going to do is, presumably, we're going to want to have relations low enough with Russia that we can actually declare when the time comes. We're going to have relations high enough with France so that we can complete that component of it when the time comes. I think that's actually basically what we need. And then we'll need one more declared interest, which I currently don't have. I'll have to take it off of somewhere. I'll probably take it off of Bengal for the moment. Take it off of Bengal. Put East here, because otherwise we won't be able to claim the territories we want. We only need one fleet, so we're going to merge the two fleets. And we'll need a few generals, which we're going to make the military faction. Military faction generals. One thing we can take advantage of, because we are the Great Qing, is our military faction, instead of having a modifier that increases the military power, has a newly created army, which reduces the military goods cost. So if we make the armed forces powerful, which we can do just by promoting a bunch of armed force generals, that will lower the military goods cost from 15% to 30%. In addition, that stacks with the levy militia effects from the peasant levies. So we can get like 40% off the cost of armies' military good costs. That also combos with the power block modifier that does the same thing. So you can get fairly cheap armies as the Great Qing here. So with that, we're going to start promoting up generals, prioritizing promoting military generals, armed forces generals when possible. First forces. Promote Unimax. We also need the general command limit for these armies to be high enough to command the army once it's got its conscripts. So this is going to conscript up to, well, apparently just short of just over 500 guys. No, 500 is the control limit. It's going to recruit, gaining another 336. So yeah, just under 500 guys. This one needs a little bit more. I don't get any army guys in here. We'll go ahead and promote this guy up. And we're going to have to get this one up 430, so I think this is 700 we need this one up to. Again, if one of our generals dies, we can just replace him. I think it's 700, which is there. Okay, so it should be good to let some time pass. As we were doing at the beginning of the last episode, we were producing paper so that we can lower the upkeep cost of our bureaucracy. We may, during this part, need to expand the bureaucracy more. We'll see how our law changes go. The bureaucracy cost changes go. Currently working on colonization. So because I've done this stuff, that's one of the things I screwed up in the last recording, was I forgot to damage relations and improve relations with France, so we had to delay the start of recognition war a little bit in the previous recording, in addition to the delays. And yeah, we're still early enough in the game that our GDP really hasn't started to grow yet, but it should probably start to take off once we can get onto a better tax system. The land tax sort of in China pretty much starts out full, so it isn't going to increase. So we're gonna, after we finish their current laws, right? So we want to get colonization, so we can do that recognition law. We've got line infantry, so we can get the army we need to do the recognition war. We're going to work our way down to railroads. And then once we have railroads, we'll work over in society tech, over to egalitarianism, so we can get proportional taxation. With proportional taxation, we should be good to just rapidly expand the economy. And while we're doing that, we're basically waiting for things over here to spread to us. So that's why protection is going to come more society, because well, the railroads are important just for expansion. Otherwise, we're going to run into infrastructure problems. And we are making money right now because we currently have government wages still very low. I could probably apply another tax if I turn the government wages up. Let's go and do that. We'll apply the T tax. Just again. Anyway, we're just gonna sit here on full speed building paper for the moment. Could technically build up the industry just a little bit more. But any real expansion is going to start to result in the scenario where we're going to be depleting the investment pool fairly quickly and then probably have it be empty for quite a while. I suppose while we're sitting here, let's make sure everything that the government owns, please, is being nationalized. It is, or privatized. Because we want it to be owned ideally by industrialists, the capitalists, not by us. Subject-wise, we got all the subjects down to vassal. The only one that's a little grumpy right now is Korea. Okay, so with the changes, we should be able to start the war with Russia as soon as the opportunity presents itself. Oh, we did lose an admiral. Let's replace him with a military one. And we did get the armed forces up to powerful, so we got newly created army, basically doubling the bonus on that. Which may partially be one of the reasons why we're actually making money right now, because military goods is not a non-existent cost. Yeah, we'll let him do his gamble. Pause with a rebel. You want to wander off? Sure. That works. Gamble failure. We'll just take ability strength reduction for the moment. No, those I didn't get the anti-Russian society last time, so we'll have a very happy rural faction because we are going to be punching the Russians in the face. And I think we've lowered their relations enough. We only need them to be like neutral. There's lathes. Lathes is going to unlock a nice couple set of things we can upgrade to. So swap to that, swap to that. Swap to that. Based on the last time, we probably do want to partially swap into lead for the glass. Don't want to swap all 30 glassworks because that's going to be way too many. Because right now we make like 20 lead. These consume. Is that 10 for all of them or 10 per level? 10 per level. So we'll swap one over, and that one in particular will subsidize. And then that should mean our one and only lead mine will hire up and make a little bit of a profit in the meantime. Make sure everything that can is on basically the newest production method. And yeah, this one lead mine is now quite more profitable, which will be useful when we finish developing atmospheric engines over here. Okay, there's colonization. Ah, that's why I felt like I had more declare interest in the last one, because I did. Get those ones back. We are going to work on atmospheric engines, and we're now in the position we can start the Russia war. So, basically the goal here is to earn recognition. By default, we start in a position where it will be declining due to our literacy, GDP, and standard of living. But if we can meet the complete requirements before a decline hits, we'll still get recognition, right? So to do that, we have to have a relevant great power like us. So that's why we're improving relations with France. Doesn't necessarily need to be France. You could do Prussia or Austria as well would work. Depending upon how America is going, America would work as well. And then we have to hit 200 progress. The easiest way for someone who is declining on multiple issues like literacy, GDP, and standard of living is to be an opponent of the great powers. The easiest one to do is usually Russia, which is the one we're gonna do it on. And we're gonna take some of Russia's coastal territory over here. That's why we went ahead and put the declared interest in the area. So we do Ortusk. We want Ortusk. That's what we're gonna start the war over. Once the war's properly started, we are gonna mobilize and conscript up. The big brigades that we're going to be using, or the big units we're going to be using, are going to be placed on defensive on the border. We're in a position where we can probably defeat the Russians by attrition if they were to attack us. So most likely they're not going to actually attack us in this war. And then our third unit here is actually going to be doing naval invasions to acquire our objectives. Oh, interesting. I have not had that happen before. Okay. That's a new problem. Not impossible to deal with. We're just going to turn around and rush Koreans. We'll make stalling on the North War a little bit harder. But not impossible, I think. The Japanese in. What do the Japanese want? War operations on the Russians. I want those war operations, so no. And I'm not sure how much help you're going to be, so we're not going to call that in. So we're going to take another territory. We're going to take the other coastal territory, which is Shoka. No. Kamchatka. We're gonna ask for war reparations. We're gonna revoke a bunch of their claims. And the goal here really is just to get enough maneuvers of applying the war goal. And that should be enough. We'll declare as primary the ones we actually really want. We don't really care as much about the claims. And then we wait for the war to start. So yeah, our big army over here that is filling up with conscripts, assuming we have the ability to import enough guns. So we'll go ahead and, now that we're mobilizing, we'll go ahead and just ask for guns from every market we can. Should be large enough, and appears to be large enough, that at least they should be able to stall for the one. And we do also want this war to sort of be stalled long enough. Russian fleets. Usually there aren't Russian fleets over here. At least it wasn't the last time. There hasn't been any other times I've done it. That's confusing. We're going to want to stall the war long enough that we hit 50 opinion with the Chinese, or with the French. So same Z zone. Oh, and it's the Korean one that was in the way? Okay, it's fine. That's why I didn't see a force over there before, because the Koreans generally don't join the other side. Okay. So let's try to get the Koreans to surrender. Of course, this unit immediately gets piled up in a fight, delaying my ability to send them out to a different front. Okay, now we've about defeated the Koreans. The Koreans are gonna beat them. There we go. Now we need to actually kind of stall until the French are at 50 opinion of us. So, if anything, I'm running a little fast. We'll still try to get the. Actually, no. Well, hold on. We need to stall until we have a 50 opinion with the French. You also get support for the moment. So both the brigades over here. Okay, this one will be once it's there. Should be enough to stall the invading Russians. No, I suppose while we're doing this, let's up the military wages for the war. Once we're fairly close, like 45, 46, we'll do a naval invasion of a core stated Russian territory, so we can get the recognition, well, win the war to get the recognition. At least now that's going to work. Anyway, these guys, oh, we lost one of our generals, that's why. Needs to be a little bit more forthright with complaining at you when a general fires, or quits, or whatever. Okay, that'll help, that'll speed it up a bit. And because we're doing it a little bit faster this time, because I did most of the improvisations before getting called into position, I haven't built any of the gun factories up yet. But that would be what I'd probably change if we were to change something. Is probably build some more arms factories a little bit ahead of time. But apparently we're winning already. That may be a problem. So we're winning too hard. If both things we're winning too hard, too early, that might be a problem. So we need to get up to 50 opinion here with the French. Lickety split. Is there anything else I can do to raise opinions with the French? No, not really. Okay, so we're just kind of hoping, because all these divisions... Oh, that's why. We left this for division by the offense. It's not supposed to be the offense. We're winning too much. Yeah, we'll stop attacking the Russians. Apparently Russians cored one of the states in here, because we shouldn't be able to get war operations without occupying it. Oh yeah, that's an incorporated state, that makes sense. ones I'm going for are not incorporated, but there's a couple in the niche here that are. Okay, so we got atmospheric engines. We're going to start working on mechanical tools. Because we got that tech done, we are going to go ahead and subsidize both iron mines and lead mines to make sure they're hired to full. And probably build up some coal mines. So we want like 90 coal. Which will be like 2 coal mines. Which we'll also subsidize. We'll go ahead and, when we're ready to complete the journal entry atmospheric engines, we'll swap all those over to atmospheric engine pump. What we want to be able to do is apply the bonus from atmospheric engines to railways. So we gotta finish mechanical tools first. And we may have... We'll see how quickly this ticks down. I may have done that just a little too early. Yeah, we missed. Okay, well that's a restart. That didn't happen last time, so I'm gonna have to fix that. So, another Blooper episode. Another Blooper recording. Because now we don't have the recognition, and France is about 3 weeks out. So we were a little too quick because I didn't pay enough attention to my army. Right, can I just load the save? Yes. Let's load the stream. And I'll quickly stop the video and start the next one up. So if you're watching on YouTube, that was a blooper. Bye for now.